Good morning, everyone. Good morning, good morning, good morning. Hope everyone's having a blessed morning. I am having a blessed morning. So I'm back with another good topic. This topic is really, really good, right? And I want to share my experience in this topic with your guys. I don't know if your guys um, have been through the same thing, right? Um, there's nine of us. Right? There's six girls and three boys. Right? But before that, we had my youngest brother is the baby, right? You had two brothers and six sisters. Two brothers and six sisters, right? I got an older brother. And being the older brother was always out and about. So I didn't really have nobody to play with. I didn't. I didn't have nobody to play with. It's cool because I have my sisters, right? And I'm not ashamed to basically talk about me playing with my sisters, me learning from my sisters, right? And some of the games that they used to play, these was girl games at the time. I did not know. But as I got older, a little more wiser, I started learning that these are girl games, right? Playing hopscotch, double dutch, and singing certain kitty songs and rhythms, right? Miss Mary Mack, 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 all dressed in black, 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 with silvers, buttons, buttons, button, all down her back, back, back. She asked her mother, 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 for 15 cent, cent, cent. I learned all of these songs from my sisters, right? And just for the neighborhood that we all grew up at, right? It was really, really fun times. Kick the can, freeze tags, catch the girl and kiss, all this other stuff. You know what I mean? Playing house. The reason why I'm talking about this, right, is that at the time I'm the only male in the house, young, and all my sisters used to watch me basically, but I learned a great deal from my sister. I learned a great deal from my moms, right? And I learned how to cook. I learned how to clean. I learned how to iron. I learned how to sew. These things I learned. I learned how to play games, hopscotch, double dutch. I wasn't never really good at it like that, but I did try it. Keep it real with you. I did try. I tried just about anything that I could pop my mind at the time because I'm young and I don't really know what I'm doing, but I'm having fun basically. It's all about fun and being free. So hopscotch, double dutch, a lot of the girl games I was playing, and I started playing other games too. Scalesies, kick the can, right? Manhunt. So I started playing all of these things. You understand where I'm coming from? So I played all of these games, and this is the era that I grew up at, right? But we know that double dutch and hopscotch was really, really a girl game. But I know some of the guys back then, the reason why they was playing those games, double dutch and hopscotch, is to get closer to girls. I didn't know. Listen, at the time I didn't really know. But I learned later on why they was doing that. Why they was doing that. And a lot of these games is over here in the East Coast. Over here in the East Coast is over here in America. The indigenous people procreated these games just to get away of a lot of things that was going on. In our neighborhood that we grew up in that, we dealt with a lot of things basically. And I also saw a lot of things basically, right? That the grown-ups kept a lot of things from us, but we also saw a lot of things. We went on bus rides and trips and stuff like that. Donny Park, Action Park, these things that was back then, Greater Renters, stuff like that, bus rides. And I remember this. I remember this back in the 80s, the jams and stuff like that. So I remember a lot of stuff, And back then, we was the second generation of hip hop. The second generation of hip hop. The guys that's in their 40s, they 50s, their early 50s, and late 40s, like 48, 49, stuff like that. They came up that era, the second hip hop. You know what I mean? Of that era, where breakdancing was really, really good. They still was breakdancing. It wasn't a lot of shooting back then. It crossed over to the house parties. So now the jams that they had in the park and stuff like that, they brought it in. They brought it into the house parties. And then the house parties, that's where you can show off your talent and stuff like that, basically. But that's another different topic that I want to talk about. But yeah, you know, I learned a lot of games, and I also learned how to braid woman hair. I learned how to do woman hair from my sisters playing with doll babies. I was raised with a bunch of women, with a bunch of sisters. Who else I'm going to play with? Play by myself? So my sister started teaching me how to braid. I never was that good with it, but I know how to braid. I know how to braid hair. I'm not that much good at it because I wasn't really doing it, but my sisters used to teach me how to braid. And I know how to braid hair. I know how to do women hair. And I also know how to do pedicures and manicures, right? My oldest daughter mother showed me that when she was going to cosmetology school. When she was going to school and she went to school for cosmetology, she was teaching me how to do pedicures and manicures. So I know how to do pedicures and manicures. Yes, I learned a great deal from women and how to take care of women. That's an actual true fact. And that is a good trade, right? And it's good, basically. It is good to be a big man like me, right? I'm man. I'm man. I'm all man too, right? But it's good that I learned these games, right? And learned that these trades from women. You know, I know how to sew, I know how to cook, I know how to iron, I know how to do all of these things from women. I know how to play HOPSCOTCH. I know how to play double dutch. I know how to braid hair. And then to add on the manicure and pedicures. I learned this. Who else am I going to learn from? So I was willing to learn. And I'm not going to look at it, oh, that's gay. And that was back then where it wasn't about all that, oh, that's gay. It was looked at. You know what they used to say? They used to say the girl game. They're like, so what? Can I play? And let me keep it real with you. We had some girls, they want to learn how to play scalesies. They learn how to play scalesy too, with the top, right? With the wax, right? And with the clay. They learn how to play too, some girls, right? And then it started going into basketball. Girls started learning playing basketball and stickball and baseball, all of the other stuff. Do you understand what I'm saying? So it started intertwining. And no, in our neighborhood, it started intertwining because girls wanted to play stickball too. So this was a fun time. This was really beautiful. You know, get in my comments if you ever played these games and if you know about these games. A said, say I. America Disaster says you can make good money doing all those things. You right. You are absolutely right. Sunset said, this is crazy. It's not crazy, Sunset. It's not crazy. And America Disaster, listen, that's what was relevant at the time. It was available at my time to play double dutch, HOPSCOTCH, right, scalesies, and play all the other games. Kick the can, play tag, manhunt, and we had some girls playing that too. Freeze tag, everything. We played about everything because it was keeping our mind from idle time. Then playing with the devil. Now everybody's playing with they playing with this sick, barbaric demon devil. I'm not saying that the children don't know about none of these games, right? But the game's different. from before. The games that individuals playing, they playing tag you it with these guns. Murder, death, kill, calling each other ops. You understand what I'm saying? We used to battle other blocks. And other blocks we used to battle in break dancing. That's how it was. We used to break dance back in those days. Break dance. We would break the best person I could pop. The best person I could do the robot. And we would battle other blocks. And that's how it went. That's how it went. Before there was the guns and killing and murder, death, kill. This is an actual true fact. And it was fun. It was fun. You understand what I'm saying? It was summer camp. Everything was lit. It was lit and we had fun. Until they start introducing the drugs and the guns and the Nina Brown inside of our neighborhoods. And this is an actual true fact. So I had a lot of fun playing hopscotch, double dutch, right? Learning how to cook and iron and sew at a very, very young age. I picked that all up from my sisters, and I got 6 sisters. That's an actual true fact. Most of the things I learned from was from women, my sisters. It's an actual true fact. American Disaster says, breakdance in the 80s. How I missed the 80s. Everyone had a good time being together. That's right. Everybody had a good time. It was a good time. You understand? There was no shootings and killings now. People call each other ops. And murder, death, and killing each other amongst the youth. See, this was procreated in our societies, our community, to kill each other for fame, fortune, and riches. Right? Fame, fortune, and riches. Like, share, subscribe. Like, cameras, and actions. Before all this stuff, this is what we was doing. We was procreating these games amongst us in our communities. Because at that time, we didn't have a lot of activities, so we would procreate that, and it was passed on from generation to generation. And that what kept us alive. That what kept us healthy. That what kept us good. And worship as the Alpha or the Omega, the created everything that exists. This is actual true facts. So that is some of my tale of basically playing hopscotch, right? And playing double dutch, playing manhunt, freeze tag, and all of these other things, which was a fun game. And nobody got killed and nobody was calling each other ops. And it was breakdancing back then in the 80s and the 90s. It was breakdancing before people was getting shot and getting murdered. They were shutting down the blocks and they would have block parties before all that was going down. And they had a lot of DJs back then that was going to neighborhoods because they came from out of the parks. They came from out of the parks from throwing the jams to come into the streets, block parties, and then from the block parties, they entered to the house parties. And that's how evolution was starting. And that was without alcohol, you see? Alcohol didn't play a part. Drugs didn't play a part. Partly for the older people, they was doing that, but nobody really knew about the drugs and alcohols. I know for me, nobody really never knew about drugs and alcohols back then. That's way too when we got older, when our community was plagued with alcohol and all that other stuff that was destroying the youth. It's an actual true fact. Yeah, man, so I wanted to give a little history, a little knowledge on that. And thank you so much for being in tune. Thank you so much for liking and sharing, right? And get in my comments and let me know what kind of games that you play in your city. The ones I'm talking about was from New York, right here, New York City. Yes, these are the games that was played. Hopscotch, double dutch, right? Manhunt, scalesies. Yes, these things was amazing and beautiful for the children. That's right. We had to come up with our own games, and we came up with these things right here. And if somebody can do, they can make it happen, right? And don't forget handball and stickball. Don't forget handball and stickball, okay? Peace, y'all. Peace.